All right, back kick and jump back kick today. So what we want to remember is that our back kick is just a spinning side kick. So mechanics are going to be very similar. Remember, we want to lead with our rear end, okay, that hip. I don't want to turn, I don't want to open my hips up too much when I do my side kick. So for example, if I'm doing my step in side kick, I'm turning, my focus is still forward, okay, I'm stepping behind, I'm pointing my heel at my target, I am canting away from my target, still looking over my shoulder. This hip will continue to point at my target throughout the kick, here, and then reset. Whether I'm staying in place and moving back to where I started, or if I'm crossing, extending, and continuing my advance. Okay, so if we keep that in mind with our side kick, pointing the hip, those mechanics are going to be the same. The concept is exactly the same for our back kick. So, back kick position, my kicking leg is behind me instead of in front. I'm going to turn towards my back leg and look over that shoulder. And if you watch my bottom foot, my heel is pointing at my target, just like it did when we stepped. That's stepping, the heel is pointing. I'm pivoting, that heel is pointing. That's the same position if I was stepping. I am just now turning to get into that exact same position. Okay, so those mechanics are the same. I'm looking over my shoulder. This is the exact setup for my side kick. This hip is still pointing towards my target, my kicking side hip. I drive the kick out, and I can retract, control, fall forward, or I can pivot, look, do my kick, retract, and reset. Kind of depends on what you're trying to achieve with that kick. Okay, so back kick, just like our stepping side kick, but instead of a step, we are now turning to get into that first position, right? So if I'm kicking my right foot, I'm getting into this position. For my step in side kick, I'm stepping into that position. For my back kick, I am kicking leg back, I am rotating to get into that position. And then driving the kick out, retract, good controlled fall forward, or reset to your real starting position. Okay? All right, so now, jump back kick. So the idea is still the same. Okay, I'm going to turn, I'm going to look, I'm pointing with my hip, and I drive my kick out for that side kick. Okay? The only thing now is we need to leave the ground. So just like our jump back spin we discussed in our Sentinel Training 4, we don't need to get a big jump. We don't need to get really high off the ground. Okay? It's not required. The more athletic you get, the stronger you get, you'll be able to get higher and higher, and that extra height will give you more time to perform that technique before you hit the ground. But it's not necessary in your jump back kick. Okay? So, just like our jump back spin, I'm going to rotate, and about right here, this is where my jump is happening. I'm not starting my jump here, okay? And I'm not starting my jump here, okay? About halfway through this rotation, before I hit that wall where I can't go any further, that's where I'm jumping, okay? Now, what we have to remember with our back kick is, where are we sending our energy? Okay, where is our momentum going? Where are we sending our body? Where are we sending our energy? We're sending it in a straight line. I want to go that way with it. With a back spin, my energy is going this way. It's going in a circle, okay? Or you could think I'm moving across with my foot. That's the direction I'm sending my energy. With my back kick, it needs to be straight ahead. So I can't spin like a top, okay? Because that's, the energy transfer is different, okay? I'm not sending my body that way. I want to send my body, sending my energy, my force, that way. All right? So my hips are the key point here, okay? I cannot open my hips, otherwise I get that spin, which I don't want. unless I'm doing my backspin. Okay, so I rotate, and if my fingers are arrows, okay, if we look at our regular back kick, I turn, I look, and I kick. My hips are still pointing away from my target. They are not opening up, okay? So when I kick towards you, hips are away. I'm not rotating my hips, okay? So for our jump back kick, the same concept is applied. When I jump and I turn and I do my kick, I'm going to demonstrate it once quickly, okay? I jump and I turn. My hips are staying away. I'm not opening my hips up to my target, okay? So it's a jump, out, and what I'm doing here is, like when we punch, I want to get that snap over, okay? If we want to kind of apply the same concept, I have a snap, okay? I want to kind of achieve that with my legs, that rotation. Okay, when I punch, this hand is snapping over, this hand is pulling back. So it's not just this arm that's punching, both sides of my body, both arms are getting involved in that snap. Okay, we're kind of achieving that with our legs the same way. Okay, when I kick out, it's not just leg, okay, leg, leg. I want this hip, this knee, this foot to open. So I'm getting this pull, this opening through my hips, okay, up both sides of my body getting involved, okay. So when I kick out, it's not just, see my feet, it's not just this, okay. I want to, okay, this is turning, this hip is pushing, my hips are going like this, and I'm stretching and I'm lengthening through my hips, okay, lengthening. Same thing when we do our jump back kick, okay, I'm just doing it in the air. Now you can tuck your knee up, see if I do it from this angle, okay, this knee is going this way, here, that opening, that flaring, as this leg goes out, okay? So, see if you can see it here. I'm gonna jump. This is going out as this kick is extending, okay? Now, you can pick your knee up that way, okay? That requires a little bit more, I guess, athleticism to be able to jump that knee up and then land again. You can also keep that leg extended, okay? Keep it straight, okay? But what we want to imagine, or what we want to achieve, is I don't want it to just hang there, okay? Just like when we punch, I'm not just using this arm and this arm kind of just hangs loose, right? It's actually doing something, okay? It's pulling and pushing. I'm using both sides of my body, both arms getting involved, my hips, my shoulders, my legs, my whole body is involved in the punch, not just my arms. Same thing is applied to our kicks. When this leg is kicking, this leg isn't just sitting there doing nothing, okay? So when I jump, if I'm keeping my legs straight, I still want to get a kind of extension, I want a movement, a reaching, so that my hips are opening and I'm extending, I'm stretching through my hips and out through that kick, okay? So it looks more like that, okay? That leg is moving. So if my leg is straight, I'm turning, I'm jumping about here. This leg is just kind of sweeping forward as this leg goes out, okay? But I want movement through both legs. One leg should never not be doing anything. The other hand, when we punch or block, that hand, that other hand, both sides of your body are working at the same time, complementing each other. Does that make sense? Okay. Practice that back kick, both sides. Remember, don't get upset, don't get frustrated. If you're not getting the hang of it, it takes practice, time, repetition. Follow these mechanics of the kick. Do your best to isolate those movements and then make them flow. And then repeat them over and over and over again. Okay? Practice hard. Chosun Haja.